You may be asking yourself, why am I watching? Well, maybe you want the latest scoop on paranormal news. Maybe you want to see your experiences, ideas, and paranormal evidence peer-reviewed. Maybe you're just here for the laughs. Whatever the reason may be, buckle your safety belt. Sit back, relax, and chat with Justin Brown and Bill Davis on this episode of Interface Death Weekly. Hello and welcome to Interface Death Weekly. I'm your host, Justin Brown, and we have Bill Davis, aka Paranormal Reporter, and you might notice something a little bit different. What could that be, Bill?
Eat my shorts.
You have a friend? You have a friend there, I see. What's going on?
He's my only friend.
Right.
Say something to him, Danny.
What was that, Danny? He can't even hold it together.
Danny, stop it.
He can't even hold it together.
He's French.
He's
I'm
your
French.
He's your French cousin. Okay, I know this is a strange way to start the show, but you better get used to it. We like to laugh on this show. We like to have a good time, but thank you for joining me, everybody. I see everybody chiming in. I see Valerie, Sandy, TJ, A Fireball, Emily Minhouse, Sam, Thomas, MP, Ron A, Troy, Haney. Welcome, everyone. Darren Smith, I see coming in. Yep, Bill's in color. He wants to see Danny in Technicolor tonight. And of course, we have Jess and Missy in the chat doing the chat moderation tonight. And I think it's a little bit of a weak paranormal news segment. There's not a whole lot of good things going on, and that's pretty much the norm. Sometimes you get some good stuff, but we got stuff. But how's the girls doing? We'll start off with making sure the girls are not angry and mean.
I can't stop laughing at Bill. Bill,
Well,
what does Danny's shirt say?
You laughing at me or the dummy?
Well, which
There's
one's
two
which?
dummies. There's two dummies there.
I can't. I'm like crying.
Wait, he's got light up socks.
What does his shirt say, Bill?
Oh, that's rad, Danny.
Don't eat it, Danny. Don't eat it.
Okay.
This shirt says.
So, needless to
I'm
say,
with
the
the
girls are
dummy.
in a good mood.
Somebody sent this shirt to him, and I'm going to find out who did it. It says I'm with dummy, pointing this way. I'm going to find out who did it, because, I mean, paranormal investigation, you can't spell that without investigation. And I'm an investigator, and I'll find out who sent it to him.
I can't.
Get that to the mailbox before I could get there. But if anybody wants to buy cool clothes for him, he's a size 3T.
A 3T.
I'd like to get a little piece.
I probably got some secondhand stuff that he can wear.
He says, I want a little priest suit.
A priest suit.
Little priest.
A priest suit. Well, I don't know if we'll burn in hell if we do that. I'm pretty sure if that's a thing,
Might.
that'll happen. It'll
Wood
happen.
burns.
I don't know how we're gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna hold it together, but we're gonna roll with it. Thanks for joining us, everybody Who is ready to talk about this paranormal news? I guess I can bring some of it up. Danny, are you ready to hear this horse shit on the news? The paranormal shenanigans?
Eat my shorts. I mean, yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right, let's see what we got
Danny's
here.
going to be a good he's going to be a good investigator. So I'm going to stick him in a location that we know is haunted, and we're going to see if anything attaches to him. See if we can possibly get any meaner.
You never know. Maybe he'll run out screaming by himself, and he'll become haunted. We can only hope for such things. Okay. All right. This is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to talk about this thing right here. You see, it is what it is, right? It's what mostly has been showing up on social media. It's the Nessie-like carcass found on Scottish beach. I don't know why they expect anybody to think critically at all to believe that this is the Loch Ness Monster. I don't get it, but we're going to read it and say we covered it. A violent storm that battered the UK this week exposed this monstrous carcass on an Aberdeen beach, found washed up on a Balmady beach along Scotland's east coast. The mystery skeleton was discovered by a member of local community Facebook page Fubar News. I don't know how credible that name sounds. Came across this weird creature today near Aberdeen. They wrote, any ideas what it could be? The image quickly generated a great number of responses, including several making predictable comparisons to the Loch Ness Monster, despite Loch Ness being over 100 miles away. Some users suggested that it could be a saltwater crocodile, with others made tongue-in-cheek references to Falkor, the luck dragon from classic 1980s fantasy movie The Never-Ending Story. I like that explanation myself. As it turns out, however, this peculiar creature is none of these things. According to Nick Davison on the Scottish Marine Animals Stranding Scheme, the remains are actually those of a minke whale. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's how I'm going to do it. A species of seaborne mammal that can grow up to 35 feet in length. It also turns out that the carcass had actually been on the beach since October, and that the recent storm had merely removed the sand that was covering it. So, this kid in the photo is pretty boss. Look at him posing there. Maybe a distant relative of Danny's. You would never know. Does he have any Scottish blood in him?
Danny does, yeah.
Danny does.
He's the Davis. What do they call it? Davies.
So yeah, that was in the news.
Scottish, it's crap.
A lot of people seen it. I'm going to assume. We'll see what else we got. Here's a UFO video that popped up. This is what wasn't on any other site other than Coast to Coast. I don't know if it was sent in to them or if it just wasn't widely covered. The title reads, "Watch Odd UFO Filmed in California." A curious piece of footage from California appears to show a perfectly round object hovering in the sky over some houses, and no one can quite figure out what it was. The puzzling scene was filmed in the city of Porterville by a YouTuber user named Justified at around 5:30 in the evening on February 1st. According to him, the oddity lingered in place for around 30 minutes and disappeared following sunset. While the strange object seems to be some kind of balloon, the witness was left wondering why exactly such a thing would be there. That is a neighborhood of regular homes, he explained. Just a typical regular suburb. No reason for any balloons or advertisements to be floating over that area. The skepticism for the proverbial balloon theory is bolstered by this video wherein he watches the object and marvels that it is really weird. There's like no strings or anything, it's just floating. Be that as it may, some kind of balloon, possibly of the weather variety, is probably the most likely explanation for the nature of the odd object, as its perfectly spherical shape seems to cancel out other theories such as a drone. That said, since the anomaly was yet to be identified, a secret military test craft or alien scout ship cannot be entirely rolled out. With that in mind, what's your best guess for the Justified filmed over the city of Porterville. Weigh in with your thoughts to coast. So we're going to take a look at this right now.
The hell?
You see a streak?
No. That is strange. That is so strange. That is really weird. There's like no strings or anything. It's just floating. I don't know what that. It's a perfect circle.
So what do you think? Weather balloon, right? It's what it looks like. Weather balloon? Just because you don't see a rope.
Square?
I think it's just because it's so far away you don't see the rope attached to it, but he thought it was weird and out of place because it's over a suburb. So there you go.
Yeah. No propulsion to it.
He think he sounds stoned. Could be. California, you never know. All right, what else do we got? Well, we got this other thing that probably a lot of people has seen, and two men find alleged Bigfoot in Ohio woodlands. So this is in my home state. I shared this with everybody on the show has seen it. I want to know if you have seen this footage in the chat. It's pretty. I want to leave it up to you. A recently published viral video on YouTube shows a large, hairy figure walking through the trees. The questionable video was reportedly filmed in Salt Fork State Park, Ohio, on January 12th by two hikers who identified as not to be disclosed. Or identities have not been disclosed. My friend and I got permission to fly our drones at Salt Fork State Park in Ohio, the caption reads. While we were there, we heard many strange noises, and we believe we may have found the Ohio Grassman, Bigfoot, Sasquatch in Ohio at Salt Fork. We used GoPro Hero 7 Black, GoPro Hero 8 Black, and the DJI Mavic Air and DJI Mavic Mini. The footage begins with a general tour of a woods and features various nature shots of the area. The Bigfoot first appears at around 4 minutes and 6 seconds and remains visible for several minutes as it traipses around being behind trees. At around 7:50 in the video, it can be heard letting out loud guttural cry. The two men recording the footage can be heard commenting throughout. But is this really evidence of Bigfoot? The creature itself looks suspiciously like a person wearing a suit, and the way it plods along through the leaves looks very much like a way a human walks. There's also the fact that the video appears to have been heavily edited. You can check out the footage yourself below. So we probably won't watch all of this, but we'll take a look here.
Now, you're not going to want to miss any of this video because there are parts throughout the entire video that show visuals of I can't explain, he can't explain. There's audio of noises from something.
Eric!
What is that? That sound. Back over there.
That used to be the trail right there. That's the trail that you're supposed to take.
try to land the drone so it doesn't get caught up in the snow because it's not waterproof. And we're gonna hike back to where we think we saw something and see if we can't catch it on, our actual cameras up close. Our actual cameras up close. It's the Ohio grassman. Look. Look at it. It's not a person. Look at the hair. You can see all the hair.
I'm gonna try to find where this thing makes sounds.
It'd be stupid to walk out here in a suit. You'd get shot. He's right behind that tree. The big one. Look. And his hair's gray and black. Is that gray or is that snow? That's not snow. It's gray. Or brown, gray. Can't tell.
I can't remember where the noises were.
Can we still be here?
So, yeah, I mean, to me, everybody's saying the same thing I'm thinking. I mean, this is obviously a guy in a hairy suit walking around in the woods, and they probably did it as a joke just to see how many people would actually believe that it was Bigfoot, but it's in the news.
Well, Justin, what I'm looking at is the ankles. And when you are walking while you're hunting or anything with kind of boots on, your ankles obviously don't bend, and the ankles aren't bending.
Right. Yeah, there's that's just one of the many things that don't look right about it. So.
Right, absolutely.
On to more
Yeah,
interesting
and if they could
news.
see him, he could see them. I mean, he wouldn't be walking around.
No, they would.
Just
I mean, it's
chilling.
just, yeah, the whole thing reeks of
He would have
fake.
killed him.
Yeah, it's just chilling. It's just like, hey, man, film me. I'm going to walk as slow as
Yeah.
possible through these woods.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll kill you when you get back to the car.
what's Danny think of this? Does Danny believe it's Bigfoot?
He thinks it's his father. Puppy's long lost father.
Danny,
Is
don't
that
let
the
him put
dad?
words in your mouth. Do you believe in Bigfoot, Danny?
He puts other things in my mouth. Oh,
Do you put things in his mouth,
Yeah.
Danny?
wood? What?
Okay.
It
We've
looked
heard
like my
enough.
grandfather eating ice cream.
Okay. All right. Calm down, Danny. Okay. Mysterious radio burst repeats every 16 days. Now, this is actually interesting, but there could be some natural causes for this. Astronomers have discovered the first known example of a fast radio burst that repeats in a steady cycle. It's a phenomenon that has managed to defy explanation for years. Powerful bursts of radio waves originating from far beyond our own galaxy that, despite lasting mere milliseconds, generate as much energy as the sun does in an entire day. Now, a team of astrophysicists in Canada have discovered what is thought to be the first example of a fast radio burst, or FRB, that not only repeats but does so in a steady cycle. By studying data from the radio telescope used by Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment and cross-referencing it against earlier observations of the phenomenon, the scientists were able to determine that this particular FRB repeats on a cycle of 16 days. Situated in a spiral galaxy over 500 million light years away, the source of the burst could be some sort of celestial object in orbit around a distant star. However, it remains unclear how such an object could be producing such high energy bursts so frequently. While it seems unlikely that an answer will be forthcoming anytime soon, observations using more powerful telescopes in the future could help to finally unravel the mystery behind this phenomenon. In the meantime, all we can really do is speculate. So they have a video.
Team has made a very rare discovery in deep space. It's called a repeating fast radio burst, and it's just the second time the phenomenon has been detected. CBC Science reporter Nicole Murdolero is here to explain it all. So first of all, what is a repeating fast radio burst?
So first, fast radio bursts themselves were first discovered in 2007 using 2001 data. And what these things are is it's a really bright, they say bright, and but a strong signal on a radio frequency that lasts just a millisecond or so, even shorter. So you can understand why they missed it. So, but these repeating ones, we only had known of one before that, and again discovered by a Canadian at McGill. And this repeating fast radio burst is the radio burst, but it kind of shifts on the radio frequency. So over and over. Mm-hmm. We don't know what they are.
And so what's the importance of this discovery?
Well, the discovery, first of all, it's a mystery. It's a mystery to be solved. And nobody likes, if you don't understand something, you don't walk away and go, forget it, right? Astronomers want to figure these out. And so it's going to teach us, hopefully, if we discover more of these fast radio bursts, and this Canadian team has done it with a Canadian telescope, we might be able to understand, maybe we don't understand other things in our own galaxy, in our own backyard. And maybe it's going to make us rethink things. And also, of course, teach us about where we came from, where the universe started.
And so you don't think that this is a sign of life off our planet?
That people talk about that. Is this a powerful signal being beamed out by an alien civilization? Personally, I don't think so, and that is not the leading theory. The leading theory is they're big, powerful magnetic stars.
And you were telling me in the commercial that what's incredible about this is how bright it is, and why is that interesting?
Well, because we have something similar in our own galaxy. We've seen pulsars, and they're rapidly spinning stars. They're kind of like that emit signals, or bright signals, like a lighthouse, a cosmic lighthouse, if you will. And we see them here, and they're very bright and powerful, but these FRBs are trillions of times more powerful.
Trillions of times.
Right.
So what do you? I can't even imagine what that would look like.
Yeah, right? Like, it's incredible. And this is why we want to figure out what they are.
All right, Nicole, thank you. That is CBC Science reporter Nicole Mortellaro.
So, yeah, I mean, I think this is interesting because they don't know what it is and they get to find out to try to, get a team together or a world, group effort to investigate this and find out what it is. And it's probably something similar to a pulsar, like they said. If you don't know anything about a pulsar, it's a rapidly spinning neutron star that pulsates strong radio frequencies out of its poles. So when it spins, every time those poles point at us, the radio bursts come from the poles. The magnetic fields concentrate at the poles. So it could be something like that, but since the radio frequencies vary and change, they haven't seen anything like that. And it's intense, so there you guys go. You can speculate on what that could be. It could be paranormal, but probably not. It's in the news. This one
And
I
he
found
thought it was
interesting.
rather erotic.
Is anybody? Oh, I don't want to leave out chat here. Has anybody had any questions or had any interesting comments to any of the news yet? No. I'll take your word for it.
You can ask Danny questions too.
Okay, Danny, what do you think about the radio signals? Did the aliens put a probe in your Danny's ass, or we gotta wait for Dan to pick him up?
He just had to change his pants. He had an accident.
You had an accident? Oh.
He had a little accident.
He was filling Bill up while you were doing the last news story and everything.
Oh, God. So, Danny, radio bursts from trillions of light years away and go.
Yeah, I've seen those quite often. Like bursts.
You sounded surprisingly like Bill Davis.
Suck my dick.
Oh, God. Oh, this is going
That's
to
an
be
inside joke.
Yeah, if you have any children... if you have any children present, you might want to have them leave. we have to issue a warning before this show. Oh, shit. Okay.
Or if they're size 3T, you can send me their clothes. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a little howdy doody dummy when I was a kid, and my cousin came over there and took my howdy doody dummy, and that's the first thing he said was, and I was like, what, 7, 8?
Okay.
And that just totally destroyed me.
I bet it did. That's why you're like you are now. Okay, scientists almost
That's where I
certain
got it from.
that Europa hosts life, and Europa is a moon that orbits Jupiter. A leading British space scientist maintains that Jupiter's icy moon is very likely to be home to alien organisms. In this article, oh my God, what are you doing over there, Bill? All I hear is squeaking noises. Leading British space scientist.
He's got his own bed.
He's got his own bed. When it comes to seeking out signs of extraterrestrial life within our own solar system, no target has proven more tantalizing than Europa, a world thought to be home to a potentially habitable ocean of liquid water hidden deep beneath a thick, icy exterior shell. One major proponent to this idea is planetary scientist Professor Monica Grady, who outlined her thoughts on the subject of a recent talk at Liverpool Hope University. Not only could there be life forms in the icy ocean of Europa, she argues, but deep caverns on Mars could also provide a potential sheltered habitat for extraterrestrial organisms. When it comes to the prospects of life beyond Earth, it's almost a racing certainty that there's life beneath the ice on Europa, she said. Elsewhere, if there's going to be a life on Mars, it's going to be under the surface of the planet. There, you're protected from solar radiation, and that means that there's possibility of ice remaining in the pores of the rocks, which could act as a source of water. If there is something on Mars, it's likely to be very small bacteria, but I think we've got a better chance of having slightly heightened forms of life on Europa, perhaps similar to the intelligence of an octopus. Overall, she argues the conditions that led to life on Earth are likely to have occurred elsewhere too. Our solar system is not a particularly special planetary system as far as we know, and we still haven't explored all the stars in the galaxy, she said. But I think it's highly likely there will be life elsewhere, and I think it's highly likely they'll be made of the same elements. So that's in the news. Like I said, February 8th, it was posted on NASA's website.
Is the news over?
Why?
Because I want someone to like the stream. Real quick.
Bonnie Ring has liked the stream. Christy Brown has liked the stream. Sandy Griffith has liked the stream.
Yes. Do you know why they like the stream? Because when they do, it looks like the little zombie dude just running in your mouth.
It's running in my mouth. That's what you want to see happen?
Yes.
All right. Well,
that's pretty common though.
Like the stream, Missy, and it'll happen.
It's not the content.
It's about the zombies, dead people running in my mouth. Okay, what else do we got? I know
His mouth is like a drag strip.
I think that is all with the news. That's all we got with the news. It is over. See, Valerie's got zombies in my mouth.
Oh, it's doing something terrible to him.
There you go. I hope you're happy.
Ashton's mouth is like a drag strip. Everybody burns rubber in it.
Danny, is that you talking shit again?
That was Danny.
Okay, we do have a few submissions I've had from people that I asked a couple hours before we went live to review some things. Again, if you want us to review some audio, a photo, or a video of what you think is anomalous, unexplained, paranormal, anything paranormal related, you can submit it to me. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it in Messenger. You can message Interface Death on Facebook. You can email me at justinbrown@interfacedeath.net. Any way you can get it to me, we'll review it. Let's do some shout outs before we do. Let's recognize everybody. I knew that C. Lynn Mayer has liked the stream. Josh, Valerie, Bonnie, Christy, Sandy, Megs, Michael Hoover. Let's see who else. Linda has liked the stream. TJ Shelton, Vanessa Hogel, and Chris. That's it for the show so far from Facebook. Let's do some shout outs though.
Hi.
You want to go, Missy?
Jesus. It's like this is the first time they've done the show.
Oh, no. Betty, Sam Thomas, Darren Smith, Brian A, MP, A Fireball, Truth Paranormal, Exploring the Other Side, Art and Paranormal. And I think that's it.
Okay. You hear Christy in the background laughing.
Yeah. She thought it was funny.
Missy, I think you're muted.
Okay. I have TJ, I have Josh, I have Sandy, Heather, Troy, Derek, Emily, Valerie, Christy, Linda, Freddie, Eddie, Nelson, Bonnie, and Zach.
Nice. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm sorry I'm eating on the stream, but Christy didn't feed me before the stream.
And we are all watching and laughing about that guy running into your mouth. Because it's funny.
I got pizza running in my mouth right now. Okay. All right. We will get to, let's see what is on my stream deck here. First off, what I want to do is bring up this photo and see. I forget the lady's name. She said who she was. I'll bring it up right now. But she has a photo from Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum that I will share with you guys that she wanted me to take a look at. That to close. Okay. Here is the original photo. Right here. Let's see if we can get any bigger. Doesn't look like it wants to get any bigger. But I take a look at this, and she's describing something. I'll read the story she sent with this, but she's wanting me to look at this right here. See this outline? It looks like a shadow being cast there. These are body lockers, obviously. If you haven't seen them before, that there's the compressor to it, I think, and they put bodies in there, keep them on ice, keep them cold. And she's seen this in the photo. Now, she's seen. I had her send me a few more photos. Like here's one, and it's much darker in this area. And then there's a couple people walking by taking photos of this area. And then she comes to this. Now, what's interesting about it, this has way more light in this area now. And there seems to be a shadow here. So I'll read real quick what she sent me about it. Let's see. The location is Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum on Western West Virginia in the medical building. It's a mobile photo. The date was it was taken April 29, 2017 at 12:18 p.m. by Meg Westbrook. I was doing a group tour and taking photos. We got to the medical building in the back, and I felt something odd about this room in the photo. It just had a body storage unit and a casket with a little bit of exposed wiring because... Wow, I gotta turn down that alert. That scared the crap out of me. You guys can't hear the alert sound, but when she donated, it's like a damn parade just went off in my ear.
I can hear it. I didn't know what it was.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I thought it was a phone ringing.
Oh my God. It must have came through my headphones or something. Okay. Thank you, Spirit Stalker. Thank you for your donation. Where was I? In a room photo, it just had a body storage unit and a casket with a little bit of exposed wiring because of years of decay. I did take multiple photos, and this is the only one that had something in it in front of the doors. I think it looks like a nun, old nurse's outfit, or odd Red Cross outfit. The only person dressed up in the outfits is the tour guide and the old nurse's outfit, but they had a headpiece isn't quite as long, but rather short. The other tour group people wore play clothes, and I was the one that day who kind of lingered in the back to take photos. So we'll take a look at it again. You guys let me know what you think this is right here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try to see if it'll let me. No, it's not going to let me make it bigger at all. It's not going to work. Nope. So there it is. And if you look at the other photos here, here are the other ones. That was the one that she's seen. So we'll go back to this right here, the one she circled. Now, there's other people around here taking photos. What I think that happened was somebody had opened the door, there's a light source, and the other people in the room had cast a shadow here. It looks like something casted on this. It doesn't look like a freestanding shadow form to me. So that would be my first possible explanation for this. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah. About the shadow as opposed to a freestanding, but I can't really blow it up. I can't really see it well.
Mm-hmm.
I will check it out later.
Yeah, this is as big as I can get it on the screen right now, unfortunately.
Did she say other people were taking pictures at the time?
Actually, let me do this. Yeah, there was other people in the other photos that she sent me. This is what I'm going to do. What did she say her name was? I can't remember. Let me see what her name was again. Megs. Okay. Okay. So what I'll do is we'll blow it up. I'll download it and just call it Megs ghost pick or something. And we'll open up Photoshop and look at it for a second. Let me get to
I
it
don't
here.
have Photoshop. I wish I did.
And we'll take a look at it on here. What are anybody giving feedback in the chat, girls?
Christy said it could be a shadow from the people walking since it's lighter in that pic at that area.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy said, but the shadow is only on the door. It's not further in front of the door.
Right.
Jen says the shadow is coming from behind the camera somewhere if you follow the shadow source. She goes, so who knows? Crazy location.
8629073. That's the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Art and Paranormal says it's a reflection of some sort. You can see it in one of the other photos.
Okay.
She said,
You ever use any?
Megs is in chat.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah, she's on Facebook.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can get this working here. Okay, here it is zoomed in.
Oh, there you go.
And get rid of the overlays here. I'm gonna try. So
Yeah,
there's definitely no sign of, alteration. The grain from the shadows is all even there. There's no sign of that.
Have you ever used any of that software like Bill Chappell used to tint it different colors or emboss it? And it's a pretty good program.
I have done that, but I mean, we can see what kind of filter there is on here. I don't know what would help. Pixelate, render, sketch, stylize, texture, other. I mean, we can.
Oh, there's a ton.
We can mess with the brightness, the contrast. I mean, that kind of makes it pop a little bit more. So it looks like
that's a freaky shadow, though, man.
Here is this, and it kind of looks like it curls up here. It does look like it's cast. I'm not quite sure if it's. It would have to be right behind her. There would have to be a flash right behind her. Because if it was off to the side, that shadow wouldn't look like that. There would be, since there's different dimensions here, the shadow would be, it would look differently. But it would have to be someone flashing, light be right behind Megs. So she would have to let us know if that was possible.
And the way she's facing, I mean, a flash would have probably lit up the whole area.
What is Meg saying in the chat so far, girls?
She just said she was in chat. She hasn't said it. She just said that the doors were already open.
To that
okay. Locker.
So, Meg, I don't know
if distorted going through.
I don't know if you looked at it this way, but that kind of makes it pop out a little bit more so you can see it a little bit better. It doesn't look like a person perfectly. I can see how you think it would, resemble like a nun, something with a.
She said no one was behind me.
Yeah, the only reason why I said that is the other photos. Whoops. Let me cancel this. The other photos that you sent me had people in them. Like these right here. Like, see, here's these people right here. That's what led me to believe that it could have been someone taking a photo behind you. And sometimes it's hard to remember after years of taking a photo. You just don't know if there was someone behind you or not. So there is still a chance that someone was behind you taking photos. So that's what makes me say that that's a good possibility. So there you go. That's the only explanation I can come up with that would cause that. There would have to be a light source right behind you doing that. And I mean, if you have long hair and if your elbow was bent like this, like taking the photo, that would explain the shape that we're seeing here. You know, this like curve shape here. Like this shape right here, you know what I mean? Like it's showing the side of her body with her elbow bent up to take a photo. That's what it kind of looks like to me.
Gina Rutledge asked if you could scroll down to the floor area.
Oh, she wants to look at the floor. Okay. Let me go down here, and we can zoom in a little bit more if she wants. Because it looks like there's some shadow here that's a part of it, and it kind of cuts across there. Here, let me add the effect to it again so we can see that again. There's something there right on the edge of the photo that I don't know. I don't know if that's skin tone or what that is. But that's the floor there. And this kind of looks like a shirt, kind of being baggy at the waist. And as it comes up, this is the armpit here. And here's the bent elbow with the arm going back to hold the phone up. And here's the head of the shadow of the person taking the photo. You see, you're kind of following how I'm explaining this. So essentially, it's someone holding like this. And, it's kind of hard to show on camera, but the armpit comes up, the arm goes down, and it comes up like this. Or beside her and back a bit from her. Okay, I think it's too solid of an outline to be paranormal. Can't say I've been there. Yeah, it's really hard to know. I mean, I'm just offering explanations. I don't see anything that would rule out that it's just, the photographer's shadow, but she thinks that it shouldn't be there, so it's anomalous to her. All right, moving right along. Like I said, if anybody wants to show anything while I'm showing these pieces, be my guest, and I will. Here's something that's really interesting, I thought. Here, let me close that Photoshop program out. I don't want to use my resources. Okay, close out Facebook here. I thought this was interesting. We'll take a look at this. There's a video taken February 13th, and it's called Angelic Weather Phenomenon, photographed in England. And I thought this was a good education piece. It reads, a man was walking atop a tall hill in England and was amazed when he noticed that the weather conditions had given rise to an eerie phenomenon in which it appears that an angelic figure is floating in the sky. Lee Howdle reportedly saw the wondrous sight last Friday during a visit to a location known as Mam Tor. As he reached the pinnacle of nearly a 1,700-foot mound, he looked down and spotted something truly breathtaking in the clouds below him. My shadow looked huge. It was in the circular rainbow, he recalled. It was like an angel in the sky over the hills. Howdle immediately recognized that, he was witnessing a relatively rare meteorological phenomenon called broken specter. This effect occurs when one stands at a high location with the sun being behind them and the clouds beneath them so that their shadow appears both significantly larger and with a colorful halo known as a glory around it. Remarkably, as his walk progressed, he actually encountered a sheep on the hill and saw that it too was producing a broken specter of his own. Fortunately, Howdle managed to snap several pictures of the angels in his midst, showcased in the video above, and upon posting them online, images quickly went viral. Looking back on the experience, he must he mused that it's really amazing, and I feel really blessed to have captured such a magical moment. So this is like a trick of photography here. I'm not going to play the audio because it's just music, but this gives you an example of what someone could take a picture of and think that it was paranormal. I mean, look at that. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Look, the sheep is even casting a shadow. It's pretty cool, if you ask me. I mean, you could have. I mean, if you didn't know what was going on, you would think an angel was walking out of the damn sky towards you, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, I think. Yes. Thank you for thanking Megs for sharing that, Gina. We do appreciate people allowing us to do that. I really want to go to Tala so bad. The reason we haven't, because it's so expensive and they only let you do a private investigation for 5 hours, and that's very sad. Maybe one day we'll just go for a tour and take some photos. But it is a really cool location. Super cool. Damn. Knocking down the doors. What else do I got here? We have a clip from the Ghost Guild. We'll bring that up. And pause it for a sec. Is there anything going on in chat that we want to read or make sure that we're covering?
Nope.
No, I'll read some things. Jen says, pretty freaky pic, though. Must be pareidolia, my bad spelling, but I see a face in the head bit of shadow. Yeah, I did notice that, but the grain does cause pareidolia effect. I agree with that.
Sam Thomas, I'm sorry, go ahead.
MP asked Justin if there was a show he had that would expose the reason of EVP, why the whispers.
Someone on Twitch sent you pictures.
Okay.
And MP, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
MP was talking about the last show with the whispers that was going on that Missy and I heard.
Yeah, I did rewind it and hear it, but I couldn't make any, it didn't sound coherent to me. So, want to become famous, buy followers, primes. That's the only message I got. It's spam. Who said that they sent me something on Twitch?
I don't know. It's on the screen.
Let me see if I can find it.
Spam.
It says send 2 pics to ID Messenger on Facebook.
Sin City Paranormal.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I see his comment saying good evening. Did Sin City say he sent me photos?
Yes, I sent
right
2 pics to ID Messenger on Facebook.
Okay, on Facebook, not Twitch. Okay.
He's on Twitch.
But you said he sent it on Twitch.
I said somebody on Twitch.
Okay.
That's true. Is that true, Danny?
What's Danny have to say about that? How did she say that?
Yeah, she said he was on Twitch, and Danny thought she said something else that rhymed with Twitch.
Troy Haney said, when did they start limiting to 5 hours? We were there last year and had it until 5 a.m.
Yeah, you guys probably wrecked it for everybody.
I just go off the information they have on their website.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, we have a gentleman with a hoodie sitting at a bench in a park. And Sin City, please tell me what you want me to see. I sent 2 on Facebook Messenger. Brent Burris on Facebook. Okay. I see the gentleman there, and he gave me a light, like a brighter version, maybe. Is this what you want me to look at? Is it any of these lights you want me to look at?
I think it's
Look at
right
the end
on
of the
the other.
bench.
Yes, at the end of the picnic table on the
Okay,
right
it's how
hand
it's
side.
dark. It's dark there, right?
No,
It's a light spot there.
This
It's like-
these.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
what
yeah, there it is.
what
Yep.
that looks like to me is just out of focus dust or airborne particles. That's your typical dust orb there, right?
yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
looks like it's two separate one. The one on the top and the one on the.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was thinking.
You did, Gilson. I'm sorry. We had fun with it, though.
Yeah, this looks like just illuminated out of focus dust right in front of the lens caused by the flash. That's what it looks like. I can't tell you for sure what that is, but that that's it's there's definitely stuff floating around in the air. And if you go outside and take flash photography, and if there's anything floating right in front of your camera when you take the photo and the flash fires, it's going to illuminate the dust right in front. Now, can you give me some information about the camera you shot it with? Maybe that information will eliminate the possibility that dust was illuminated by the flash. Okay, the original one's highlighted. I see that. So let me know what camera you were using, and that would help me analyze it a bit more.
MP says, ask him what explains EVPs coming from another dimension.
Well, we don't know if EVP come from another dimension. The only thing we do know about it is what it does in our dimension. But there's a lot of theories and ideas out there that let's just hypothesize for a moment that there's an interdimensional being, or there's a parallel dimension going on around us all the time, and sometimes it comes really close to our dimension or coexists with our dimension momentarily. If they're speaking from a body like we are, and we are hearing the sound compressions through the atmosphere that our ears interpret as noise, maybe that frequency and that sound vibration is crossing their dimension into ours momentarily. And that might be an idea, far-fetched idea, but what would cause an anomalous disembodied voice, for example. Not EVP. EVP coming from another dimension, I don't know. I don't have any idea of how you would formulate that. But that might be some far-fetched idea you can say about disembodied voices. It would be a cool book or something to put in a movie or something. And if someone would possibly find supporting evidence of that one day, that would be really, really rad. So going back to these photos again, did he comment about what photo he used? Kodak EasyShare M753 7mm. Okay, we'll see what kind of camera, what that looks like, because I've never heard of that. Okay. Now, these things came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, and this is what causes the dust to illuminate right in front of the lens. See where this flash is? That's your culprit. See how close it is to the lens? There's these little dust particles floating in front on the lens, and that flash is right by it, so it's going to illuminate it, right? So if you go to Dust Orbs Explained, you go to Images. Hopefully it'll bring me up a photo. I should have this readily available so I can show it to you guys. But here's an example of dust orbs. Okay. This is what we're looking at. Oh my God. Okay. You only seen a couple, but this is an example of a lot of dust orbs. Okay. Let me go bring it back down here. Let me find an example that's similar to yours. I seen one down here that was similar. Where was that? I don't know if I can find it. I'm trying to find. Let's just go. Let me read off some comments why I find this. Oh, here it is. Never mind. I found it. Okay. And Brent, this is what I'm going to explain to you so you can kind of get the idea. Now, here's your camera, and here's the lens, here's the flash. Now, there's going to be a focal point. I don't know if I have a graph of a focal point here. I'll have to show you a separate image. But the dust particles are everywhere, and the flash will illuminate them in front of the lens. And if we go to lens focal point, okay, here is the focal point of a lens. Okay, right here, this little point is going to be what's in focus. Anything here and here is going to be out of focus, and here's the lens. So if the flash is illuminating everything in front of the focal point, it's going to be blurry, it's going to be out of focus, and that's what you're seeing is the out of focus dust particles being illuminated by the flash. And that's the explanation of that anomaly in this picture here that I see. Oops. Like right there. See how that could occur there? So it looks like that's the culprit. Hopefully that was useful information.
Is there an area like on the opposite side of the flash that wouldn't illuminate the dust? So you wouldn't really see orbs all the way to the right side of the picture, probably, according to that.
You could see it anywhere on the sensor. Anywhere. It could be anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's on the right, left, bottom, middle, it don't matter.
Gilson wants to see the doll again.
Danny?
Gilson wants to see the doll. Bill's doll.
His name's Danny.
It's not a doll.
Well, that's the way he put it in the chat. So I'm reading the comment.
Not a doll, Gilson. He's an action figure. Remember that show, Fireball XL5?
No, that's before my time,
with the
right?
dummies. They had the mannequins. I think that girl, Fireball on YouTube, she was on that show. Yeah. Gilson, I got your deadlight. And I'm going to stick it down my pants and light it up.
That you might want to watch it, Gilson, when you get it. Okay, moving right along here. This video, Nelson Nos from Ghost Guild sent this to me. I had seen this on his Facebook page or YouTube channel a while back, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, to set this up, obviously, I think it said in the text for the video, they had left this section of the room, and there's these fold-up bleachers that were off camera behind the camera, and they said they were in this area for a while, and they heard absolutely nothing. And this is what they recorded when they left the area. It obviously was something there making the noise. It didn't sound like it was just natural pops and cracks from like the wooden bleachers. Maybe some of the noises could account for that. But if no one entered that area during the time we were listening to that, there was definitely something there. But since it wasn't caught on camera, we can't tell if it was something unseen causing those things. So I don't have much feedback to that to offer more than that. But he did submit that, and we thank Nelson for submitting that to us. If you have any feedback on that, let us know. All right, what else do I got here? This was something interesting that
Hey, Justin, I'm sorry. Jen actually had a question regarding that, so I wanted to, cut you off. She said she was confused about the graphics. Was it the church or an old Masonic building? Do you know what kind of building it was?
The last video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me bring it up, and maybe I can answer that for you. Let's see what the description says. We sat on the stage, the theater in the park, Raleigh, North Carolina, March 10th, 2017. The theater in the park. We sat on the stage for about 45 minutes. During this time, the stage was so eerily quiet that we decided to move to a different area, the theater. We left the video camera behind and made our way towards the back office. It was once we left the stage that the sounds in this clip started and lasted for 20 minutes. These got so loud that we believe someone had broken into the theater. Note that the voice you can hear in this clip is from the teddy bear placed on the couch. I actually hear more than the voice from the teddy bear in that. And we'll go back to this real quick. I hear voices there. That was the bear. See if I can go back to where I heard the other voices. Right there, after you hear the bear, you hear a deep man's voice. So I definitely did hear a separate voice. Anything else, girls, before I continue, or Bill?
I can't hear.
Okay, I'll move on. This next piece of video was submitted by Mr. Poe. We'll take a look at it.
Over the past 10 years, there have been many reports of construction workers frightened off the job while working in the old buildings. We spoke to some of these construction workers as they were going on their lunch break. They asked not to be filmed, but they did tell us about some of their disturbing experiences working on the old Camarillo buildings.
Everywhere, anywhere they're at. Even the stuff that's barely built.
Stuff that's been rebuilt.
Stuff that's been rebuilt, yeah. The library.
The library has a lot of activity?
That used to be the morgue.
Right. Yeah.
They invited us to look around the current building they were working in until they returned from their lunch break. During this daytime walkthrough, a very clear and loud disembodied voice was captured on 4 different recorders, including the onboard camera mic.
I heard it too, but I thought it was the girls.
Oh, over here. Yeah.
I heard it on the record. I'm listening with headphones. I heard it.
Yeah, I was over here. I thought it was you, but it wasn't you. Oh. That was freaking clear. Can you hear it?
Okay, Sid and I were just inside this shower room or surgical room possibly, and as I stepped out here in the hallway, I just recorded, actually before I recorded, I did hear an audible voice of AVP that sounded like a yes. And then that's when I asked him, did you say something? He said no. There was nobody in this area, immediate area here, so we just played back the audio right now, and we did get the EVP on the recorder. I'm going to play it back right now.
And you hear my voice in the background, so I've got a deeper voice, so that's not going to be me. It's right on top of him. The two females were down way down at the other end of the hall. We could barely even hear them.
Yeah, they were
right on top.
No, male. This is like right here.
Yeah.
It was right here.
We played audio for the construction workers that were in that building, and they were just amazed at what we had caught. In fact, they were pretty frightened and were afraid to walk down the hallway with us.
While looking for the disembodied voice on one digital recorder, one of the investigators discovered a clear EVP. The construction workers were unnerved but clearly impressed.
We just caught it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right.
There's people in here.
Oh my God.
You got another one?
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. Look at this. This is hello there.
It does?
Hello there.
Oh!
Do you hear that?
You hear it? Hello there. That's pretty nice. They're talking.
Wow. That's freaking funny.
They're talking today. Examination. Hello there. Yes. That's something. Examination. Hello there. Yes. That's something.
All right, so the first voice that said yes was more interesting. It definitely did sound like it was acoustic energy, like our own voices producing that. We weren't given, a whole bunch of information and data involving everything going on, but we definitely clearly hear a yes. It's really no way you can say it was anything else misinterpreted as someone saying yes. Whether it was paranormal or not, we cannot determine that based on that video. The last one sounded like the man speaking in the room, and I don't know why they would consider that was anomalous. It sounded exactly like that guy. I mean, it was even echoing right there next to where they were in the hallway. So, but thanks for Mr. Poe for submitting that. We appreciate that. Any other feedback going on? I do see Nelson put the original link there to the I'm guessing the audio or the YouTube video. Let's take a look. See if it'll let me copy it, paste the URL. Oh, yeah, he just linked the video we were watching. Okay, so we got at least one more thing. We'll take a look at... Okay, this is Elite Paranormal Society that's allowed me. They just posted this, and they were doing... they were doing a live stream at a residential location, and Bonnie had went down to the basement to do a session or to do something on the live stream, and they were hearing something on the live stream that they weren't hearing themselves while they were there. And it's definitely interesting. We'll let you guys take a look at it, and you guys tell me what you think.
Okay, guys, turn the flashlights off. No, I'm here. No, flashlights off. I'm here. Oh, yeah, heard that. Heard that.
So there you have it. Really, really strange. The first thing I would say about that, if they did not hear that, but the live stream did, that would definitely, get my attention. The first thing I hear, the quality of the audio sounds like it's at a very low sampling rate. It's a very low quality. Bill, you ever used a really low quality recorder and it had that really weird, like electronic demonic sound to it?
Yeah.
I know you couldn't hear it.
I saw that
play.
when they first aired it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know
I've
what I'm
seen that
saying?
before though. Yeah. But that was really strange. I think it was Philip Wyatt that picked up on it, that told her to get out of there, because it's just over and over and over again. I don't know. I was thinking it was kind of bandwidth interference, but
yeah, that's the first thing I was going to throw out there. It definitely sounded like you could try to make it into speech, but it definitely didn't sound like it had any recognizable tones that it was speech. I would really like to see that on a spectral analyzer. I could do that, but it would take a little bit of time, like on the show, but it would take a little time.
It the whole time, right?
No, it
wasn't doing it the whole time.
No, they said it wasn't. There's a link to the live feed still up.
Yeah, I watched it. It wasn't like that. Yeah, it just kind of all of a sudden started.
Arden said she watched it live. No, Jen, that was not on a spirit box. They said it was just coming out over the live feed.
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Misty, did you hear anything about 2 minutes ago?
No, I didn't. I was downstairs about 10 minutes ago, though.
No, 2 minutes ago.
Oh, 2? No, I didn't. Why?
Okay. I have it stamped. It sounded like somebody said hello when you Justin was done with his playing that video.
Did you feel anything from that particular video?
No, I didn't. I wasn't really trying to watch it.
Okay. Well, when I looked at it, when you initially started playing it, I'm like 6 foot tall, over 6 foot tall guy in that back room, and he's not happy.
Okay. That would kind of go along with what they thought was going on.
Yeah,
and of course, I didn't hear anything when you started playing it.
Right. I can give you this link if you want to listen to it. Here, I'll put it in the chat.
I listen.
Okay.
This creepy as hell.
Oops, I did it twice.
You did it twice. That's okay.
I did it twice. It's better than once, isn't it?
Yeah.
better than once. Okay,
If anything
so
it's bad out there, it's going to follow Rob. It's gonna
Bonnie
follow
said
Rob.
yes, Missy. You are right on.
so Bonnie agrees with what you were picking up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it sounds like a lot of EVPs that people would get back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It almost has
it was weird.
A low bit rate quality to it. Like it might be missing some natural sounds from the human voice. I definitely want to run it through a spectral analyzer. If we have time, we will do that on the show. I'm going to have to rip it from YouTube, rip the audio from it, and then run it through the spectral analyzer, just so we can see if it's resembling human speech, if it's not, what frequencies are coming through. I'll go ahead and download that now. So if we had time during the show, we can do that.
Yeah,
go
Bonnie
ahead.
didn't hear anything.
If I missed anybody's comments, let me know. Let's see here. I can make this really quick. I can just do the audio from this ripper I have. We'll change the path to, we'll go to E, audio clips, and go. And we'll run it on the spectral analyzer while we're on the show. Okay, so I need to get to WavePad Sound Editor. Someone's messaging me, I think. See who it is. It's Arden. A few pics if you wanted to show them on your live. Okay, I'll take a look at them in a second, Arden. Crap. I'm gonna have to do something really quick, guys. But can you read off some comments while I do something really quick?
What if we don't have any?
You I guarantee you have dozens of comments on your feed. Help me out.
On YouTube, they were just saying, Bonnie, get out. They were saying everything that was going on.
Bonnie said, my guides and dad, plus a woman, all were telling me to get out. Justin, that would be awesome if you could.
I'm trying to. It's going to take some effort, but I'm going to. As long as you guys can fill some dead air for me for a couple minutes.
Jen says almost like
And I
reverb
can vouch
when you.
for.
Go ahead, Bill.
I was gonna say I can vouch for Bonnie as far as I've investigated with her before, like at the May Stringer house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely know Bonnie. I know she wouldn't be blowing smoke or. I don't expect Robert to do that either. So, and when that's why they live stream, so they can just show what goes down. You know, during their investigations.
But yeah, Jen was saying almost like reverb when you get a speaker and mics close together. I think that's to a comment that you said, something that you said.
Hopefully my computer doesn't crash while loading this software. I'm probably stressing out my resources right now. Okay. Here, we'll bring this over to this window, and so we can show it on the air. I don't know how well this is going to do while I'm running all this broadcast software. Let me close some of the stuff in the background here, and we'll get it going. You can read some more comments, please.
Arden Paranormal says Bonnie is straight up. Betty says I had to go back and I didn't hear it either. I think they were talking about what I was, what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I heard, it sounded like a whisper.
Bill, where did you get your action figure?
I think it was just eBay.
Just eBay.
So are we going to blow up any doll heads this week?
Made them. We are going to blow up some doll heads. I had an investigation and then I had some pretty good footage, but I haven't got it finished yet because of everything that's going on. But it was pretty interesting. A Fireball that's in YouTube right now. She is an actual personal friend of mine, and we were chatting, and I told her where I was going, and she was like, well, I didn't even really tell her I was going. I was doing an investigation, and she was getting all the chest pains. She thought maybe it was me. I'm like, no, it's not my heart.
I'm just going to do Audacity.
And I've been laying off the
tired of this.
Viagra. You know, I've been laying off the Viagra, so my heart should be pretty good.
That's hilarious.
Well, you know, when we got there, we found out that there was like a 13 or 14-year-old boy that had a heart attack there, and died on the location. So I thought that was kind of strange that she picked up on that.
Mm-hmm. That is strange.
She's like an empath. She can pick up feelings, you know, people around, but I don't think she's really done any remote stuff yet. It's something that she has to train. I think she could do it.
It is interesting. All right.
Her name is Cindy.
Analyze. We got contrast, plot spectrum. See which one we want to do. Okay. Is this a real-time analyzer? I don't think so.
Oh, is he sad? Looked like you were holding him, cradling him.
I should have gave a shout out to his maker.
Sorry, I didn't even have the audio playing for the stream. Can you guys help me out here and fill the dead air?
Yeah. Come on, Bill. Fill the dead air.
Dead air.
Fill it.
He was made by Dan Pays Puppetry. PAYESDAN. Dan Pays Puppetry. You dream it, we build it.
I think you should tell the story that you told us before we started the live stream when you were 10 years old.
Oh, when my cousin came over and played with my dummy?
No, no.
Oh.
About the knife or something being thrown at you.
Oh, Mary Sanchez. I'll never forget her.
Okay, guys,
I liked her. It was like 10.
We're gonna take a look at this right here, and I'm gonna turn on the audio and we're gonna listen. Okay, if you guys want to turn this down a little bit so I can talk over it.
Sounds like Mary Sanchez.
Okay, right in this area, see if I can go the wrong way here. Okay, let's just use this tool. Maybe not. Maybe it won't let me use the tool. God, I hate Audacity, man. Wow.
Rob's good at it. Rob's a pro at that.
I don't normally use it, so I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
How to shrink it, make it bigger, because I'm used to editing video. And
yeah.
Here we go. Oh, I got it. I just had to hold down Control and do it that way. It's not going to let me drag it along back to where I want to go, though. This is why I don't like to do it live, because this takes audio engineering and a lot of time, and Audacity's not the best thing to use. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Okay, it's definitely in that area, but I can't see where I'm zooming in at. Okay. This red area and the white area is where it's coming. The white end of the spectrum is where it's coming through the loudest, and that's at 2 kilohertz. But it's ranging from, it's all the way through the whole spectrum. It's got a lot of noise in it, but it looks like it's really concentrated in the 2 kilohertz range. So if you listen to that right there, that really high-pitched squelch, I mean, it's noise. It's not speech. Because if you want to, we'll take a look at Bonnie speaking. We'll find when she comes down somewhere here. Okay. See if we can get a better example of her speech. See what this.
They're saying that they can't hear it.
Oh, I don't have it on. I wish I knew that before. I forgot to hit a button.
It's pretty.
There's too much audio contamination for me to properly analyze it. You have to have it in a sound lab with soundproofing and all kinds of stuff. The sound analyzer is pretty much garbage. I tried, but there was a couple moments where there was some audio isolated, and it was just all throughout the full audio. How am I going to word this? There was frequencies coming through the whole range of human hearing. So from 20 hertz all the way to 20,000 kilohertz, it was just noise from the whole range of the human hearing. There wasn't any inflection or any qualities that sounded like speech at all in any of it. But if you go to an analyzer and compare it to Bonnie's voice and anybody else that was speaking, you can tell that it's not them speaking, obviously, by comparison, but whatever's speaking is definitely not human. It's definitely not human, and it's definitely not acoustic energy. So if it is electronic voice phenomena, it's definitely barely coherent. You can barely tell what it is. So I would be too worried about pareidolia being a thing when trying to understand what anything is being said, if that's somebody or something saying something. Gil said he ordered the box set. Did you now?
Spirit Stalker Afterlife, it says that they donated $10.
I do see that. Just a jump scare you got, kid. I don't know if it played that time. I seen when you did it, but I don't know if it played that time. I don't know if it worked that time, but you definitely got me the first time. Thank you very much for the $10 donation. It really, really helps the stream out a lot.
Well, it said 5 when early in the show, so I
Mhm.
guess you donated another 5.
Yeah, Spirit Stalker donated 15 altogether this stream. It was 5 the first time, 10 the second time. So usually I would like to be more prepared when I'm doing an analysis for people to watch it for, to make it a lot better. But me trying to mess around with software and figuring out how to do it, because that's usually not how I analyze audio at all when I use spectral software or spectral analyzing. But all it pretty much is, I can explain it to you folks pretty easily. Right here on the left, it gives you the range in kilohertz of what's coming through. There's 8.6 kilohertz all the way to 0 kilohertz. And where you see it in the most concentrated areas is where it's the loudest decibels. See if it won't. I hate this program. I literally hate it. Like, it sucks. Like, it won't let me zoom in or anything. Like, I don't know what it's doing right now. I don't know what this is. Like, what it's doing. It should let me blow it up, but it's not. It won't let me stretch it out. Won't let me do anything. Let's see if it'll let me do something if I do that. Okay, here we go. So this concentrated area, as you see in here, is where it's the loudest, and it's in the 2,000 kilohertz range. But you can see it's all through the full spectrum.
Well, Bonnie can get loud. Just kidding.
That almost sounded like speech there. Sounded like Bonnie speaking there. Yeah, see, I mean, there's even lower subfrequencies, right? That's where she's speaking right there. But the noise is coming through right in the 2.5 to 2,000 kilohertz range. That's where it's loudest at. But you can see it's all the way through the spectrum. It's really crazy sounding. It surely is. And that's all I have here to show. And I know we have some time left. I'll leave that there in case people want me to go back to it again for whatever reason. But yeah, I usually like to be more organized and less unprepared to do those types of things. But I was curious to see what it would look like on a spectral analyzer and see what frequencies were coming through. And it's just noise. It's super, super noisy. Really hard to tell if anything's being said.
I think you did pretty good with it.
Not compared to how I would judge people doing something like that. But yeah. I'm as anal as it gets with this stuff. I do have a photography job tomorrow. I will bring that up. My mom's sister goes to church with this older couple. They're in their 70s, and they're both widows, and they're getting married in their mid-70s. And I get to photograph them for a couple hours. So I'm looking forward to that. It's not your typical wedding, right? You're going to have some.
No, it's going to be a lot of drinking.
No, they're churchy people. Okay, they're not. I'll be surprised if the booze and the magic mushrooms come out. But I'm looking forward to photographing them. Okay. What do you got going on, Bill? Anything new?
Just that investigation that I did not get uploaded in time. This job has been horrible. And the move and everything and the equipment and everything has been just overwhelming. I need more team members. And Danny sits around the house. He don't do shit. He don't help me at all. need help. But I am going to put something together this week, and because it's pretty cool. There was a few things in the investigation that were really interesting that I'd like to show.
Oh yeah, you had mentioned that. And sorry, guys, I know if there was times where you couldn't hear it, is because I have to click buttons on mixers and click buttons on audio software, and I can't hear what you can't or can hear unless I look at the mixer and see the audio waves come through. So if anybody wants to come to my house and help me do the audio mixing for the broadcast, it would help out a lot. Or if anybody that helps me on the show wants to listen to the broadcast with headphones and let me know if they can hear or not hear something, that would help me too. Because I cannot hear what you're not hearing or can't hear. Unless I physically look at the mixer, which is over here on this middle monitor. And I was looking on the left monitor. I apologize, guys. Maybe next time I'll have somebody helping me listen and see if I have it muted or not. Sometimes I'll mute myself or I'll mute my guests. I won't even know it.
You were talking about there being
some way
no
I can shoot
booze at the
stuff off?
wedding. You were talking about there being no booze at the wedding, and Betty Kigley's comment was probably no sex either.
How do you know? Why would you say such a thing?
Betty said it. I just read it off of this little screen right here.
Well,
I'm glad
sex is in the
someone's reading
Bible.
it. Sex is in the Bible a
So is
lot.
booze. So is booze.
Somebody asked if you got a chance to see those pics.
No, I've had a lot going on. I'll go to Facebook. I think that's where Arden sent them to me. I had totally forgotten by that point because I was in full concentration mode on the software. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, Sam Ebersbach, Arden Paranormal. There is something blown up there, or in a box that they want me to look at. Okay, it won't let me zoom into it. I'm going to have to download to analyze what's in the box.
Let's put it through a spectral analyzer.
Let's not. Let's not do that and say we did. All right, open more programs. And see what we got.
There might be stuff I could help you fire off too, Justin, right?
What's that?
Audio or video through my feed.
Yeah, if I had a mixer and an interface, that would definitely let me. That would probably help out. But the problem is hearing what the broadcasts hear, not what I hear in my own system, because I have it set in a certain way. It's complicated. Okay, let's see if we can kind of add some contrast here so we can see something. I don't know if we're looking at an alleged face or what. What do you guys in chat see? This looks like either someone's breath or some fog. Maybe there's two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and a face there.
Yeah, I'm seeing a face.
Okay. And we will get the other photo. I think she sent me two. And is it this they want me to look at? This thing here?
She says she doesn't normally square anything and just let people see it for themselves.
Arden pick 2. Okay,
I like the squares and circles because I have a hard time picking stuff out.
She said not fog, actual photo.
What's that mean? It's not a photo of fog? Or is this what you want me to look at, Arden? Is this thing here?
She said yes, but I'm not sure what she was saying yes to.
Yeah, I don't know either. So I'm guessing she's wanting me to look at this. This right here.
What the hell is that?
I think I know what it is, but I don't know if anybody would agree with me.
She says something manifesting.
Okay. Now, if you send me the original photo, I can be sure about this. The metadata EXIF data will tell me what the shutter speed and exposure time was when you took this picture. So if you want me to analyze it as a pro photographer would, I could tell you. The explanation for the first pic, pareidolia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pareidolia.
She said not fog in photo, and the second one is something manifesting.
It's not fog. She's saying it's not fog.
Correct. She's saying it's not fog.
Okay. Pareidolia is a type of apophenia, which is a more generalized term for seeing patterns in random data. Some common examples are seeing a likeness of Jesus in the clouds or an image of a man on the surface of the moon. That would be my explanation for this photo here.
And she said that is the original photo?
No, I need you to take the photo on the SD card that you saved to your computer or the actual photo off your card and email it to me. That's the original file. I need the original file. This would not be considered original photo. But if we go back to this looks like illuminated. I mean, what do you think, Bill? You've been around. Illuminated condensed breath, fog?
Yeah, or smoke. Well,
Or
not
smoke.
so much, but
Yeah, in flash photography, you're going to illuminate anything vaporous. We need to know the temperature, the environmental conditions, so we can properly analyze it.
She doesn't believe it's
yeah, you may not even know.
Okay, well, that's what I think.
October.
That's what I think it is. I think this is
Even if they couldn't see
pareidolia.
their breath, the camera would have got it.
So Arden, you tell me what you think it is. And this right here,
back on October.
This right here is slow shutter speed. Oops.
And it was like made a trail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So slow shutter speed. I mean, if you have your camera set in auto and it's compensating for the low light conditions, it's going to increase the shutters, slow down the shutter speed, increase the exposure time. So anything that's illuminating light will cause a blur effect like you're seeing here. Okay, see these streaks of light? Anything moving, when you take the picture, you're pressing the shutter will move the camera slightly, causing motion blur of the light to appear. And this is kind of what is giving an example of that. So
she said what
definitely not straight though. It kind of envelopes around.
Mm-hmm.
She said that it's a face of a man screaming is what she says it is. And she says the second one is something manifesting.
Okay. So this photo right here, Arden, is the way I would explain that is slow shutter speed effect, like this right here. This is my explanation as a photographer, okay, and as a paranormal investigator for this photo. And this one, my
kind of envelopes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it kind of looks like it's almost like a wave that you're looking straight on.
Christy said that pic reminds me of the photo we took on Glen Street, Justin.
Oh, this one right here?
Think so.
Yeah, pick one or pick two. This is pick one. This is pick two.
She's also said, I have other ones like the second one.
Okay. To properly analyze it, I need the original photo so I can see what your exposure time and shutter speed was at. That would help me. It's like if your shutter speed was high, then I can eliminate the motion blur explanation.
She said, I'll send you the other ones I have similar to the second one.
She said pick two.
Okay. Yep. That's my offerings of possible explanations for the photos for that one, for those two that you sent me. Okay. What did others, did anybody else offer feedback in chat or?
Jen says breath and tree branch, but what's the second one pick? She wanted to know what your thoughts were on the second pick.
Yeah, I can't tell you 100%. I can't be sure on anything. I can just offer explanations for what can cause anomalies in photographs. I can't tell you you're wrong, I'm right. I can't do that. I can just offer things that, might be. Now, if you have other data or other things like video of this thing manifesting, that's why I always tell people to take video instead of still photos. And if you have to take still photos for what you're doing, stick an action camera on top of it. That's night vision, and take night vision video so you can see more information and more data coming in during your investigation. It just gives you more information to base opinions and analyze more. What do we got going on in chat here? Let's see here. What's up, Dark Prince? Do we know Dark Prince?
I don't know. I think that's the first time that I've seen him in the chat.
Well, hello, Dark Prince. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird to say, but hello. Tim's late, but he's here. Jessica, I replayed it and I don't hear it.
Joe Para Oddities was watching too.
Okay. That name sounds familiar. On Facebook.
Yeah, he has a store, I think. Yeah, he has a store, and he does lives. I think he's on Paranormal Warehouse too.
Joe Para Oddities?
Yep.
Pretty sure I know who that is. Yeah, I definitely know who Joe is.
Joe.
What's up,
Joe?
Joe?
New York. Is it New York or Jersey?
It's New York.
Yeah, New York.
Art and Paranormal says always open to others' opinions.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you what things are in photographs. No, I mean, I just can't. There will be skeptics out there that'll argue with you. I'm not going to argue with anybody. I just know what can cause similar things. That's all I'm going to do on this show. The chances of anything being paranormal to me on a photograph, you're going to have something super convincing. And I've never seen a photo that's convincing. Even one that I took at Moonville, it's not super convincing to me, but it just makes you think. These photographs, they make you wonder and they make you think. And the more you learn about photography, the less you think about them. So that's kind of a thing that photographers go through when they're looking at stuff in low light with flash photography. You'll get a lot of things that show up on camera that you weren't seeing with your eyes at all.
Yeah, that would have wrecked the wedding
How do
picture.
you feel about trail cams on investigations?
I used to use them. I think motion activation on CCTV cameras and trail cams are okay as long as it's got good infrared lighting or good lighting, and at least it's a decent resolution. 4K would be great. 1080 would be okay. As long as it's set to video and not just taking a burst of photos. And how those trail cams work is they have a passive infrared sensor on them, like pretty much all typical motion sensors. And it reads infrared energy. So our body heat gives off infrared energy. And that's how any motion sensor works, is if it's a passive infrared sensor. So what's going to set that off is contrasting heat that's moving. So animals, anything alive giving off heat. If you're trying to catch ghosts with it, you're only going to catch ghosts to set that off if they're giving off heat. So if you think you got some ghosts or something paranormal sitting off heat, it would work in that situation. Good question, though.
Christy said she found another rock store about half an hour from there.
Fancy rocks.
Go.
Okay, here's another example. See how you have this light? It kind of looks like it's a lamp, a street lamp off in the distance, and she kind of moved her camera and it's given like a little streak. You see that there? I don't know how well you can see it. I don't know if it'll let me blow it up. Oops.
Blow it up.
I mean, that's as far as I can do it on Chrome, but it's right here. And it looks like it's just like a street lamp off in the distance or something, or they're illuminated particles in the air from the flash, and it's got a motion blur to it. You see that there? So, going back to low.
Well, in any kind of camera, when you take a photo in the dark, you have to be super, super still, because that's what it looks like. She took a photo, and then, as soon as she hit the button, she was lowering the camera down.
So yeah, you're going to get these like effects like this.
She said no street light in that area.
So then then it's probably, see this little glowy object right here? That it could be just something illuminated right in front of her lens. What camera were you using? Cell phone, point and shoot? What kind of camera? That would help us determine a lot of things. If it wasn't like a street lamp or a garage or a porch light, then it's probably just something floating in the air that was illuminated by the flash.
Jen says, wouldn't the other lights?
I'm sorry.
Jen says, wouldn't the other lights do the same thing?
Yes and no. It depends on how bright the light is. In this particular photo, there is evidence of motion blur here and motion blur here. So, yes, if they were stationary, they should show all the same blur. So, she says there was no light. So, if they're moving particles in the air, then that would explain why one is moving and the other one wasn't, because they're not all moving at the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she says that she lives in the middle of nowhere and she was using a Canon 40D.
Okay.
She used the flash?
Oh, yeah, she definitely used the flash.
Yeah, you can look at that one, and there's, the tree branch towards the top of the photo is lit up.
It doesn't look like it has an onboard flash. Maybe it does. Yeah, it does. Right there, it's got a pop-up flash. Were you using the flash? Because if you weren't, then that would remove the possibility of you illuminating particles in the air. But then I wouldn't understand why you would see these branches lit up like they are. That's the evidence of flash to me. See these?
Oh, yeah, I can see them now.
Yeah, these branches are lit up by a light source.
On my monitor.
So that's telling me she's using the flash. So a flash can light up little particles in front of her lens right here. That could be a possibility.
Jen says, those metal things that they put in posts on the, on the telephone pole, they could be reflecting as well.
Yeah, I definitely see some like post-like things here, but I don't know if that's what's causing it. I don't see anything clear.
Yeah, she says she used flash.
Okay.
They do sell reflective thumbtacks, like that you put on poles.
I don't think that's what it is. If it's anything, she probably just lit up a couple specks of something in front of her lens, and she was kind of moving a little bit, causing that motion blur of the light.
Unless she noticed something over there, like what was going on that was odd, that made her take that picture.
But Justin, I was being possessed at the time I was taking the photo.
Yeah, that's right. We can't rule that out.
I wish there was times when we were you know when you're definitely experiencing something that seems paranormal during a ghost hunt, during an investigation, or just at your house or somewhere that you go, and you take out a video camera or a camera and you use it and nothing shows up at all. And it's so frustrating because you just want to see what the hell's there. So that's why people experiment with the infrared light, full spectrum light. They try to use different types of cameras. But folks, we have reached the 2-hour mark. It's awesome to do these shows. Bill, I wish we could have heard Danny more. You need to come up with some routines or something for next time.
I'm not a very good comedian, ventriloquist, but I will write a few jokes for him. I don't know how much money
You're actually
he has.
the worst ventriloquist I've seen, but you're pretty funny despite being really bad at ventriloquist.
Well, I didn't want to actually... Yeah, I didn't want to try to be it and not be good. I got to practice more.
Yeah. Just move your mouth and just make him say funny things. That's all we want.
I have buttons here. I can do stuff to it.
Yeah, that actually sounded awful, but okay. Thanks, Missy. Thanks, Jess, for helping out with chat. Thanks, Bill. You were great, and thank you guys for watching and having interest in us, the show. Thanks for Spirit Stalker Afterlife for donating the $15. Thank you to these people that continue to support us on Patreon. I mean, they're fantastic people. They like to see us continue our research and keep pushing the envelopes and doing our very best. So please extend your thanks to Clay Borman, Scotty Fox, Casey Schreiner, Jessica Bias, Paranormal Reporter, aka Bill Davis, Heather Elliott, Betty Kegley, Kelly McConkey, RJ Murphy, Deadlight LLC, Katie Turner, General 7, Joe Vitelli, The Ghost Guild, which is Nelson Nawson, them folks, Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers, and Tony Pelosi. You may be asked, oops, wrong button. Oops, sorry. So we love you guys. We're going to have my Paranormal Soapbox on Tuesday. I haven't picked a topic yet, but we'll talk about something. No Necromancer next week, and of course, me and Bill and the girls will be back on Friday. Once again, you guys are great. You guys are awesome. You can stick around for the video promos. Our new trailer for our upcoming film that's coming out in March. We'll play that for you guys if you have not seen it yet. We're looking forward to releasing that on our website and on Blu-ray and such. But you guys have a good weekend. You take care. We'll see you next time.
Back off now. In God's name, back off.
You go back to your bathroom, you stay back there.
But I got you. Don't fucking touch me! Fuck! Okay. Leave me the fuck alone! Okay, sweetie. Okay. Open the door, get the door. Open the door, let's get her out of here.
Get the door.
God!
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the World Wide Web of Weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.